Welcome back to our town centre garden. This episode begins as normal with the wonderful bird friends that we know. Later on though, things become a little serious out there. I must warn you that this episode will record the beginning of a tragedy. Nature is beautiful, and it can be very dangerous too. I'm happy to see the juvenile magpie this morning. Checking out the neighbourhood, making sure everything is cool. Yep, the roof is looking great today. Elsa is taking a bath with her husband Jerry. I think this pair of blackbirds are very young. They have built a nest together in the tree. Jerry has straggly feathers at the top of his bill. They make submissive-looking gestures to one another and open their beaks in communication. Jerry would like to bathe. The starling would like a drink, but the blackbirds are in the way. Elsa circles Jerry. They keep their eyes on each other. She is loving that bath. The town is very noisy today, and after the plane passes over our magpie family, we can hear the roads being resurfaced in the distance. As always, baby squeaks a lot when Mom or Dad is nearby. I love how they throw out their wings as they make this sound. The magpies groom carefully, pulling their beaks through the feathers to get them ready for flight. Their body language is so interesting. That looked funny. The juvenile behind is chatting with the adult. the little magpie flies down to hustle some spiders. It found something to nibble on. Its sibling is watching it with great interest, then joins it on the roof. A wood pigeon sees the bowl is empty and casually moves in for a meal. It's a quiet start for the birds today. The penguin-faced blue tit has got its crest up. It looks like a blue hat. The superhero stripe along its eyes makes it look cool too. Evolution uses the black tones in creature patterns to make fake shadows. Bright and lighter colours can look like the sky through leaves. This is how camouflage works to hide animals and insects. This is Mrs. Blackbird, R2-D2's wife. R2 is on the chimney. The young magpie quietly grooms in its tree. I like seeing the sunlight through its wing feathers. I had heard magpies were social birds, but never saw what that meant until this year. The young come close to other family members and quietly communicate. They also nuzzle one another. When they slow their movements like this, you know something different is happening. They look at each other closely. The one on the left doesn't seem to want any more close communication and inches away. I love observing this family. R2-D2 has a mouthful of scarlet berries. Now we have a chance to see camouflage at work. There is a female baby blackbird in this shot. Can you spot her? A nestling is outside of her nest. R2-D2 and Mrs. Blackbird are bringing food to her. I had no idea she was visible right there in the honeysuckle, or I would have concentrated my camera on her. That camouflage is too good. With the blackbirds busy feeding baby, the starlings make the most of the water bowl. The juvenile starlings are feisty. The video call ringtone was on this video, by the way. This young one can have a peaceful drink now. R2-D2 begins his cat alarm call. Is his daughter still sitting in the honeysuckle? The danger must have passed. Even though the bird alarms have ceased, this starling is still being cautious. The wood pigeons are attempting a courtship dance. It's a bit difficult to do on the aerial, and this is not a very romantic setting. Pecking doesn't always mean aggression. It can be used to urge on the participant in the dance. The female left the male. This isn't the place for that. I leave the house for an hour, then when I return, there is a lot of noise going on outside. And I came back to a horrendous fuss in the garden because I just found a cat running through the garden with this little baby bird in its mouth. And I'm going to go away now because I'm upsetting them. They've been upset whether I go in the house or not, but yeah, poor little blackbird baby was in the mouth of Pixie seconds ago, and I squished at her, shouted at her, and she dropped it. Anyway, backing off. After reviewing this footage, I realised the cat had snatched the baby we saw in the honeysuckle. I surprised her when I opened the back door, so she dropped the baby. This attack has made all the blackbirds scream their alerts together. R2-D2 and Jerry pose as sentries above the young fallen bird. Even though the baby is not a daughter of Jerry, he cries out his warnings. They are all in danger from the cat. R2-D2 has displaced a wing feather on the right. This must have happened during this upsetting moment. Jerry is in the tree, close to his nest. He stands guard there. The young magpies arrive and can be heard squeaking at the top of this tree. Elsa is also standing guard near her nest and her husband, Jerry. Since the nestling is still on the floor in my garden, the blackbirds mob the magpies to try and get them to leave. They could be a real danger to the little bird. It looks as though the magpies know something is going on, but they didn't see where it happened, so they are investigating. The blackbirds don't want them to discover the baby bird. Mrs. Blackbird and a young starling watch from the aerial. Everyone is tense as the young magpie continues looking around. Its parent, who is looking tatty, is watching from a higher spot. It flies to the next aerial, seeing off the starling and Mrs. Blackbird. The young magpie doesn't seem that bothered by all the protests going on around it. The parent is still standing watch over the area. Neither magpies make any noise, which is interesting to me, since we know that they are all very vocal. The little magpie joins its parent on their favourite chimney pot. As the magpies try to settle quietly on the chimney, the blackbirds very slowly also settle down a little bit. A sibling has emerged from the tree and also stays quiet. The blackbirds are lowering their alert level. The adult begins straightening up those tatty feathers. It's a big relief now the alerts have stopped, but Mrs. Blackbird and R2-D2 are not at all relaxed. Their daughter is still on the ground. The magpies go back to their usual routine of grooming, resting and exploring. The following day, I cannot see the baby blackbird anywhere in my garden, so I go and watch the birds to see what's going on. Mrs. Blackbird and R2-D2 are hanging around. They become alert as a cat comes into view for them. From their trajectory, it looks like there is a cat in my neighbour's garden. The way that they are acting suggests their baby is still around somewhere nearby. Mrs. Blackbird has some food in her beak. Despite the high alert level, she still retains her mouthful. I heard a squeak. The parents are honing in on an area in my neighbour's garden. Is this where the baby is now? The answer is yes. So there is a cat in view of the blackbirds, and they are all close to the baby. Oh no. They are trying to feed their nestling while they are alert. The baby's squeaks are giving its position away. R2-D2 is running along the ivy above his daughter. Their jumping around is probably getting the cat to look at them and not at the stranded baby bird. Mrs. Blackbird is determined to feed her baby. I imagine the cries of her baby is urging her to do it. Each time she visits the little bird, she gives away her position. Now we can see in what condition the young bird is, and it doesn't look good. Her wings are underdeveloped for flight, and her feathers have been displaced. She was in a cat's mouth after all. There may be something wrong with her right wing. She hobbles and hops to a new hiding spot. R2 brings her some food. The cat must have left, since the alert calls have now ended. R2 is ready with another meal for baby, but he waits cautiously on the roof before he makes his move. The magpies are making themselves known. Mrs. Blackbird has also paused her activities. She wags her tail in time with her sky predator alarm call. Are the aeroplanes worrying her, or does she see another ominous silhouette circling above? R2-D2 also wags his tail. He's probably making a sound that the microphone isn't picking up. After the noisy planes finally pass over, their ground predator alert begins again. He prepares what looks like a worm for his baby daughter. I try to use the bird's roots to see where the baby has gone. But it's very hard to see the tiny thing on my camera screen. I know she is under those yellow flowers somewhere. Mrs. Blackbird has found some scarlet berries. She is alerting everyone about something. These birds are so nervous and tolerate no funny business. Is it a cat? Baby has started squeaking. Mum is clucking a cat alarm. I am frustrated that I cannot see what they see. The baby is calling from the flower pot on the right. Mum brings more food to baby, who has a great hiding spot right now. The whole time I am filming this, I wonder if I should intervene. I had not seen on the tiny screen how damaged and underdeveloped the baby was, but I did see it limping. I knew the cat living there was a keen predator, so the little bird will probably not make it through the night. But her parents are feeding her. If I interfere, they may completely abandon her. I am not experienced in taking care of baby birds and start doing some quick research. The pale tabby must have been hanging around all of this time. It is heartbreaking to see scenes like this. I remind myself that this is nature at work and I shouldn't get involved. But am I not nature too? The tabby has moved into the next garden. Can they still see it? Maybe the neighbour's cat is sitting just out of my sight down there. It feels wrong to interfere, since the parents are feeding their baby. As I see the birds becoming more raggedy, my heart goes out to them. I really want to help. We are a part of nature, but humans have a terrible track record, and their interference is costing the lives of countless life forms on Earth every single day. I feel my caution is more respectful of the scenes playing out in front of me, even if it does mean the death of the little bird. I am a dastardly human, but I am also a mother from the planet Earth. My heart goes out to these parents, and I think that feeling will never stop. The trials seem endless today. The parents guard their baby so bravely. They don't even stop to preen their feathers back into place. The baby is squeaking from somewhere under there. Mrs. Blackbird is choosing the right moment to feed her young. It's all gone quiet out here, so I thought I'd sneak out and have a look around. The cat has not made an appearance, I'm glad to say, but there seems to be the constant sound of a distressed robin. That bush does squeak, and it's the second time it's harboured a baby in these few weeks. I really cannot see the little fellow. Actually, it's a little girl. I wondered if she was behind that flower pot. Unfortunately, overnight, their efforts came to nothing. The youngling is caught by the neighbour's cat and doesn't survive the ordeal a second time. Farewell, little one. I know the good earth will absorb your elements and share them with the life forms to come, so you will live on in them forever. This is a harsh lesson that all of us humans have to learn. Life can seem like a dream sometimes, but scenes like this bring us back to reality. It is what being a citizen of Earth is all about, really. Know your strengths and limitations, and be thankful for what you have. Until next time, goodbye.